This conference will now be recorded.
Ravi, can you help me with that?
Yeah, we can go to profiles.
Yeah.
Cancel it. Close this one. View preferences. It's not coming. 1 second, let me click on edit.
Edit and then references are
Preferences.
coming. Find terminal.
I don't have a control. Can you give me control?
It is the Unix box actually.
Hmm. Oh,
Uh,
okay. Next box here. You logged in.
yeah,
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Click on edit.
yeah. Edit
Go to
is there.
preferences. Preferences.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
Here it is, I
yeah.
think.
This one. Yeah. Yeah. Increase the size to 14 or 16. No, 220 is too much, I think. You can go with 16. You can enter the value. It's good.
425.
Yeah. This is okay. I think everyone able to see.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. All the services started.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask one question here. Which someone was asking recently. What are the Hadoop daemons? I think it's a very old question and it's a very simple question. What are the Hadoop daemons? What are the Hadoop daemons?
And these are the daemons, right?
These are the daemons, correct? So your resource manager, node
Name node,
manager,
secondary name node.
name node, secondary name node. These are all we can call them as a okay. Okay, before I show you the Spark submit, okay. So let me show you if I want to pass my custom method to a transformations, how will I do? Okay. Can you open a notepad? Okay. Um, okay. What we will do? Note, is it a notepad? Oh, different colored
Yeah.
backgrounds. Okay. Just write a
Background is
simple
different.
method. Yeah, just write a simple method. Uh, diff uh, add 100 or some like we do you guys remember we did sometime with the map partitions quite a long time we have did it, right? Um, some or add some whatever it is. Some is the already existing method, right? So what we'll do instead of we'll write some, you can say custom sum or something. Okay. Um. Okay.
Do I need
Sum
to
equal to some.
save it?
Yeah. No need to save.
Mm-hmm.
Write one more function. write one more function. Diff sum with index.
So need to pass two parameters, right?
Yeah. You actually really no need to pass two parameters here because we are going to apply for the map transformation. So the sum,
Mm-hmm.
whatever the sum you are going to define here, so totally depends on the for which transformation you are going to send this method. Okay, even first method also you keep it only one parameter. Okay, sum equal to initially make it sum equal to 0. Okay, next sum equal to it should be var. Okay, if you say val, it will be constant. You cannot
Yeah,
reassign, right?
yeah.
Okay, sum equal to sum plus a and return sum. Either you
Yeah,
can say
some
return
return.
sum or it can be last statement. Okay, now go to yeah below after copy this method and paste it. Copy this method and paste into your Spark shell.
Okay, this one.
Yeah, first one. Yeah. Okay. Now sc dot parallelize. Press enter. Okay. Now sc dot parallelize val rdd equal to
Well,
val rdd. Yeah. Val rdd equal to c dot parallelize in bracket list capital L list capital L list bracket open. You can say 1 to 10 like 1 2 3 4 5 like that. Or you can say 1 to 10 comma two partitions outside comma no, outside the list. Press enter. Do rdd dot collect. You have this. Okay. Now rdd dot gloom dot collect.
check only one partition. I mean, all the data is in one partition.
Okay. So you have taken 1 to 10, right? So it's like a range you have taken.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe that might reason. Do one thing instead of range 1 2 comma 10 1 to 10. So enter the number 1 2 3 4 5 like that. Now you do the gloom.
Yeah. Because of that one.
Yeah. So what we will do now, we will apply the map transformation. We will apply the map transformation. rdd.map, rdd.map. In the map, you need to give your sum method. No, you don't need to write all these things, element, and all. You don't need to. Just write sum. This is how we pass our method to this. Come outside, say dot collect.
But it would return this individual elements only.
Yeah, you just write. Okay, so it didn't show any difference, right? You got the similar same values. Do one thing, go to your method, your editor, sum equal to 0 we have taken, right? Say sum equal to 10, then we'll see the difference. So it means we are adding a 10 to every element. We are trying to add 10 to every element. Copy this, paste it there.
Yeah.
Now we have added. So this is how we will pass the methods, our own methods to, or our own functions to your higher order functions. Okay. Any doubt here? Any doubt? Okay. Let's start your IntelliJ. Start your IntelliJ. You have our Sparks project set up here, Rishabh?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you written your word count program?
No, Ravi, I have not written word count. I think it would be there in your
We will write it now, no problem. Create a new program, so it will become. Okay.
Don't see my directories actually.
This is the project is not set up. It looks it's not set up. No,
No, I
you have
had
not.
multiple folders actually.
No, Rishabh, you don't have dependencies and all, right? Click on file. Click on file. No, the project name is same. Correct only. Click on
Yeah,
file.
I had two more projects actually into
Yeah.
this.
Open recent. Click on file. Open recent. Open recent. Open recent. So choose which is your project.
This is the one repository that I had.
That is for Scala.
Yeah.
And Spark also you have written here only. Check another project if you have written. No.
Yeah,
Have you done any Spark examples?
I think yes. I have. Yeah, I have done.
Go to open recent. Open recent. Choose your project name. Spark hands-on or whichever is. Is it up second one? Second one is the project name.
Dot Spark hands-on would be. Can you add into this window only?
It looks this is the one.
Yeah, this is
Click
the
on
one.
first Spark Pro. Click on first Spark program. Click on your POM file. Click on your POM file. Okay. Okay. First Spark program. Click on first Spark program. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and write on new program. Right click. Word count program. Okay. Scala class. No, not that one.
Yeah.
You have taken wrong one. Remove. Scala class. There here you need to select object and type the name word count. All the names should start with a capital letter. Start with a capital letter. word count. Okay, everyone, not only Rishabh, I see that no people are not doing a hands-on. Okay, so if you don't do the hands-on, it will be a problem. Okay, so if anyone asks you to write a program, simple program, word count program also, they will ask you to write in interview. So that time you will not be able to write because you have not done the practice. You know the concept, you know the how to do all these things, but you will be not able to write a program. Okay, no need, imports will automatically come, Rishabh. Okay,
Okay.
write a main method, just to type main, control space. Yeah, then what you have to do, you have to create a Spark session, right? Spark equal
Yeah.
to Spark session, capital S.
I can copy it from here, I think.
No, type now,
Okay. Okay.
word count. Type. Everyone please do this. Spark session, very good. Dot builder dot app name, word count, dot master, you can say local of star or something like that. Give dot
Let us
get or
create.
create. So next, if you want SC, Spark dot Spark context,
Context.
press enter. Now you need
Yeah.
to read a file.
Then where? Read a file into an RTD, right?
So what you will do here, to read a file here, no, what is the, it's wrong, right? What is the wrong here? Can anyone guess
st.text
or
file.
tell what yeah,
st.text file.
yeah.
So to select a text file, I can take a directory. You can take it from here only.
Don't take it from local. I want you to take it from HDFS. But first try with the
HDFS.
local. No problem. No problem. Take it from local. First we'll do with the try from the local. Then we will do. What you are looking here? No, not here. You know your local file system.
Okay.
Any file, any sample file. No, desktop or wherever it is.
Should I copy some text and then paste it somewhere?
Yeah, you can do that also. You can do that.
I think I have somewhere in downloads, if not this one. Yeah, this is there. So I will take this one. Okay.
Copy this. Hmm. You remove that file : it automatically comes since it's a local. No, remove everything. Remove that also. Open just a double quotes and paste it. Paste it inside the double quotes. Yeah, slash. Otherwise, it will read all the files. Downloads slash.
Yeah, slash.
Then file name.
It has come.
Okay. Do Control Z. Do Control Z.
Yeah. I think it got selected somehow. Test.txt. Let me just verify the name.
Yeah. Guys, this will be the problem. Okay, when we do not do the hands-on, this will be the problem. I hope everyone is experiencing this. Even me, if I don't write some programs, if anyone all of a sudden if anyone asks any program, my hands will not move because I don't know the syntax, I don't know the flow, but I know the concepts. But the concepts no use, right? So they will see the how much good your hands on. Okay, what next we need to do?
There's RTD flat map.
Yeah, RDD2 equal to you can type,
Just take a look.
whatever it is. Yeah, RDD dot flat map. Why I see that? You already read the
Sorry,
file.
sorry, sorry.
Now
Yeah. Flat map.
what is it correct? Flat map, inside the flat map you need to take element, right? Element, rocket symbol, element dot split. Element, rocket, and element dot split. Why it's coming red color?
No, just okay.
So next what we need to do?
Map it with
Yes,
the
one. We need to create a pair RDD, right?
yeah,
RDD2 dot, not on RDD. Now it's you have to do on RDD2.
yeah. RTD2.
Again, you take element, rocket, element comma 1. Next, what we need to do? RDD4 equal to reduce by key, right?
Yeah.
You need to do underscore plus underscore. You can do simply, or if you want to give,
Yeah, underscore
open the
plus underscore.
underscore, not hyphen, underscore. Okay. If you want to explicitly write it, a comma
No,
b
you can
like
take
that you
A
can.
comma B hyphen
Okay.
rocket A plus V.
Yeah. Now RDD4 dot save as text file. Save as text file, and you can give the path.
Here only I can give, right? In the downloads.
Yes, you can give it wherever you want. Don't give the complete file. It has to be folder. Okay, in double
Okay.
quotes, it has to be. Do the control Z.
Okay. No, just taking something else.
Give output. No. Download slash WC1 word count 1 WC1 like that you can give. Yeah. Okay. Now what we have done, we have created a program, right? Now if you want to do the Spark submit, we need a jar file. Whatever the program we have written, we need to create as a jar file. Okay, how we will create a jar file? So do you have a Maven installed in this machine?
Yes, Ravi.
Okay,
I have
click
it.
on terminal in the bottom. Yeah, click on terminal in the bottom. Terminal, you guys see bottom? Yeah,
Yeah.
click there. Just say mvn space -v. Press enter. Okay, mvn means Maven. mvn
Maven.
space clean space install. What it does, it's a build. It build your code and create a jar file, not tar file. It's a jar file.
So whatever be the current code that we have here, it will build the jar for that.
Yes. You guys look at there, it started downloading all the required jar files.
Says
Done.
build success.
Yeah, click on your target. You see there is something called target here. Target in your right hand side where you have written Scala. No, above.
Yeah.
Yes. Click expand that, and you see that your com dot spark dot hands on, that is your little up. That is your jar file. Okay, how this name has been created? Go to your POM file. Go to your POM file. Double click on your pom.xml. So you see there. No need to go down. Up only. Go up. Go up. You see the line number. Line numbers 9, line number 8, and line number 9. Artifact ID and version. So 1.0 hyphen snapshot is your version, and com.spark hands-on is your artifact ID, which is your project name. Okay, actually have given wrongly, but still fine, no problem. We'll just do this. Okay, so that is with that name. With that name, it created a jar file. Your project name, artifact ID is nothing but your project name, and version. Both together, it's created a jar file. Okay, find the location of the jar file. Right click on your jar. Take the path, copy the path, or no, just right click, copy. No, path will be file path.
File path.
Yeah. Why it's coming like this? 1 second. Click on target and take the path. Click on target. Find in path.
Directory.
No, find in path. From fifth option, from sixth option from the top. Yes. Take that path. Go to your file. Paste it. Press enter. Go in. Yeah, that's a jar file. That is a jar file.
This one, yeah.
Yeah. If you want, you can keep it here, or if you want to copy to any very well-known location, you can give that path. Okay. Go to terminal now. Go to terminal. And you need to open a new terminal, not the Spark shell.
It is with Control Shift to T, right?
Yeah. Okay. Now here we need to specify your Spark submit command. Okay. Before that, what is a Spark submit command? Okay. So open your browser. Search for Spark submit space Spark documentation. Spark Yeah, 2.4. Not this one. Not this one. Go back.
Submitting
Come down.
applications.
Yes,
This one?
yes. Click on. Yes, click on that. Okay. Look at here. Look at here. Submitting your application. So far, whatever we have seen, you are executing in your local, like in your IntelliJ program. There only you have written your program, you have written it for each, you have written println. So you have run like a normal simple core application. Okay. And other one what we have seen, Spark Shell, where we have executed. What is a Spark Shell? It's a REPL. Can anyone tell me what is a REPL? What is a REPL? What is the full form of REPL? Full form of the REPL?
Programming language, then R is real and E is
No, R is not real.
repeat. R is repeat. Uh,
Not repeat. Read, print, REPL, right?
yeah, REPL.
Uh,
So forward.
Go ahead. Read, REPL. REPL, REPL. Read, evaluate, print, loop.
Print loop, yeah.
Read, evaluate, print, loop. Right? Evaluating and printing and loop. Loop means to come to the next statement. So we have executed there. Correct? Now we are going to submit an application. So when you're doing submit an application, it means you are submitting into the cluster. Okay. So if you want to submit your application into the cluster, you have to follow this structure. Look at here, Spark submit hyphen class name. So when I say class name, which main method contains, right? Where your main method contains. If you have a master, you can give a master, but in our case, it's a local master. Deploy mode. This is also one of the frequently asking interview question. Deploy mode. There are two deploy modes, client and cluster. We'll discuss in detail. Okay. Configs. Suppose if you have any configuration you want to pass explicitly. Suppose if you want to pass any configuration explicitly, we will pass conf hyphen conf. And if you have any other options you want to pass along with your submission, hyphen those options. Then your application jar. What is application jar? Whatever the jar you have created recently, that jar and application arguments. What is this application arguments? The argument, suppose your application will take a runtime or command line arguments. In your main method, go to your IntelliJ. Go to IntelliJ. In IntelliJ, you have main method. Close this. In your main method, close this. Click outside. Actually, you can click outside. Just click
No,
outside.
no, it is.
It's not going. No. Just press escape.
I'm pressing that.
Escape also.
Yeah. Go on.
So in your main method, you see args. In method, you have main method. You have args. So what is this args? This args is actually to take the command line arguments. We will call them as a command line arguments or runtime arguments. So while you are running your program, if you want to pass any arguments, those arguments we will pass at the command line. So the same, that is arguments only, it is showing in the Spark submit. Those are called application arguments. Those are called your application arguments. Okay. Let's go ahead and prepare a Spark submit. Go to your editor. Go to your editor. Editor, text editor.
Oh, sorry.
We'll
Yeah.
prepare the Spark submit command there and we'll come here. Okay. Spark -submit. The same, whatever we have read there, right? So we'll be preparing that with that commands.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, space hyphen class. What are the options they have given, right? The same options we will be passing. Now you have to give the fully qualified name. When I say fully qualified name, you should give complete your package name and your class name. Okay, go to your
So package com.spark.core.overcount.
yes. That's all fully qualified class name. That's called fully classified. Qualified class name.
Like this.
Yes. Space hyphen jar. Go to your document. See that what we have a hyphen jar.
So
Document. Spark document.
okay.
What is that? Hyphen your application jar. You really no need to give a hyphen jar. Hyphen jar if you want to provide any jars. Okay, they can directly take jar. You just give a jar file, a jar. Just give full complete path of your jar file. The complete path of the jar file. No, remove hyphen jar. Yeah. Take the path of this.
Okay. It is in continuation. Yeah.
Home user download. Okay. Space and go to your command. What is that document? You see that what next is the hyphen master.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want, you can give master is yarn, or you can just give as a local space space. Just give a local, and you do not have not that way. You just what I can say, single L, small L, local. Okay, then you don't have any other argument, so you do not have a number of executors, number of those things we are not going to give. We'll give deploy mode. You can give local. It's not local. Client or cluster. You give client. Give client. Okay.
And yeah, config key, we don't have any config key.
We don't need as of now. We don't need that.
Okay.
Okay. Copy this and execute in your terminal, new terminal which you have created. Not in the REPL, outside. Paste it. Press enter. No class definition found. It's Scala Java 8. It is something version issue. No class definition class why?
No class def found error.
Yeah, copy that. Copy that. What complete? No, from the beginning. Java.lang. Yes, if you are getting such kind of thing, surely this is compatibility issue. Yeah, center.
Sorry.
This is Spark submit it is.
No class
Right click
def.
on open. Yeah, first two option. Right click on open name. The same error. Come down. What is the solution there? Changing the version, I think it will be.
Look, X, you are using 2.x with a Scala 2.12. So Spark documentation difference, run Spark
Yeah.
runs on Java 8, Python this is Spark with Scala 1.1, Java
Looks like
11,
you are using.
2.11.
It's a compatibility issue only. Let me. Looks like you are using 2.4.x and with Scala 2.12. It might be compatibility issue. Spark documentation difference. Java 8, Python. This 2.4 uses 2.12. You will need. Okay. So okay. So 211
So
it will work.
actually, 1 minute.
Come down. Yeah, come down. I'll tell you. I understand. Go to your IntelliJ.
Yeah.
You have to open your pom.xml. Here you are using 2.4.5 and you are using 2. This one, right? So we'll make it. What is this? You are saying your compiler was version 2.11 and your Scala version 2.12.
Oh, that's the issue, I think. Should be 2.
No. Try this one, yeah. Try with this. Because that day when we verify 2.4, Spark 2.4 is compatible with the 2.12, right? Again, you need to compile. Go to
Okay.
terminal, bottom, terminal, bottom, terminal. You're
Yeah.
already in terminal. So use the same command.
Install.
Yeah. Okay. In the real time, normally this is how we'll submit the Spark jobs. Okay. We'll be having our Spark submit. We'll write all our code in IntelliJ and we'll create a jar file. Then we will use the Spark submit command.
So the jar file will have the same name because of the configuration that we have, right?
Yes,
It
based
will
on your
override the jar.
how you create your project name and all, it will create with the same.
Yeah, so it is successful.
So next time I want everyone to do hands-on. I see that how we are struggling to write a code. So please try some hands-on creating program and doing this thing. Otherwise, it will be very big problem.
So we can re-execute that command, right? Because
So what
everything is
happened?
same.
Yeah, you can re-execute. Just you can re-execute because location and everything is same, right? Go to terminal, use up arrow, press enter. I see still is a problem will come. Press but anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same error.
same error. We'll make it 2.11. Spark version, Scala version 2.11.
So just let me see if I've installed it. I think I
No,
have it.
no need to see here. You can open the terminal. You can just say sc.version. No, sc.version will work on there, not here, not here, not here. There in Spark shell. It's a 2.4.5. This Spark version. Okay, Scala version if you want to see. No, Scala version will not come. Do another version, other terminal. the terminal. Yeah, Scala hyphen version.
Just one thing I need to check. Sorry.
No, it's a given. Scala version is given.
Yeah, I know. Just a minute. I have a Scala 1.11.12.
Oh, that one also there. Okay.
Yeah,
So do one thing.
I can
No
change
need to
key
set the class first.
configuration.
You can just change there. In pom.xml, you can change. You really no need to change here.
Okay.
Go to pom.xml. You say 2.11, 2.11.2 or something. There, yeah.
It should be
2.11.
just
1, 2.
11.
1, 2.
Yeah,
One, it's fine.
here also.
Yeah, here also 1.11. Now we
Okay, and
go ahead and
again,
do the command again. Same. Maven and clean install.
sorry guys.
It's okay. First time you are experiencing, obviously this problem will come. And make sure that next time you guys will practice it.
It finished too early.
I think because all the compatible jars are available, maybe that's the reason.
Let's do the
If
terminal.
you have doubt, again you can build it. Again you can build. If you want, you can do clean.
We will try here, Ravi. If it fails, then we'll get to know.
Okay.
Some error.
Yeah, this is different error, not the compatibility. Go.
Input does not exist. Home.range.test.
Okay. Yeah. Now I'll tell you. So when you do the Spark submit, okay, when you give the Spark submit, if you don't specify file colon slash slash thing, I was aware this, so I just want to learn from this. So what it's trying to do, but if you don't specify file colon the local path, it will try to look into your HDFS. That's what it is happening. Go to the error message. Go to the error message.
Yeah.
Error message.
Input part
You
as
look
it
at
is
there.
looking for HDFS.
HDFS, look at it. HDFS colon slash slash home user download that. So it means it is trying to look into the HDFS location. So how your program knows whether it's a local file path or HDFS path, you just need to specify the properly file colon slash slash. You need to specify there. Okay. Go to your IntelliJ
IntelliJ.
here before home file colon double slash. No, not that slash, backslash. Yeah, it's okay, fine.
So here also
So
we
next,
would need it, right?
yes, output also in it.
Okay.
So what you need to do now, again you need to compile. Whenever you do any change in your program, you need to compile. It's done. Go to output directory.
Such a warning. Okay.
Go to your downloads. Word count.
One. Yeah.
Open that part files, both the part files, whether we have data or not, we'll see. We have output, right? So the Spark submit is success. This is how we will submit the Spark job. This is how we'll submit the Spark job, and we will read it. Any questions so far? I know that it took a longer time to develop one program and submit the application. Okay, this is how we need to. We'll do the Spark submit in the cluster. Now here we have seen an option, right? We have seen an option, master. Master we already discussed. Either it will be Yarn, it will be Mesos, your cluster manager actually. Local, that is one. the most important part is deploy mode. So as I was telling you earlier, deploy mode, there are two modes. One is client mode, other one is cluster mode. What is a client and what is a cluster? What is a client and what is a cluster? We will discuss in detail about it. No, I don't want to it's actually, it will be little lengthy. I want to make you understand where the driver program will run. If it is a client program, where the driver will run. If it is a cluster program, cluster mode, where the driver will run. So while then also I need to explain you application master, node manager, those things I need to explain. So I'll better I'll move that the deployment mode to the next session. Okay, so and other here in the Spark submit, you see this is also one of the interview question, guys. People ask, can you tell me the Spark submit parameters? Can you tell me what are the Spark submit parameters? So to make sure that whether you are real time or not, these days everyone is taking some training and just go, right? So the interviewer want to know whether you really do have a hands-on, whether you really write a there are some interviews I have seen, they will ask to write a simple program. The word count program only will ask, they will ask to write. So to check whether how much comfortable you to write, not only theoretically, how much comfortable you are with the hands-on. That this is very important, guys. That is the reason earlier in the earlier sessions for earlier batches, the core, the Spark RDD part I used to explain in the REPL, Scala shell. For you guys only, I started in the IntelliJ. That's the reason you guys see that I haven't created any programs for others, for other batches. So in IntelliJ, for you guys only, I have created the Spark applications, because this map, flat map, filter, distinct, sort, reduce, these all I can show in the REPL. But what is happening when when a problem statement is given? When the problem statement is given and ask them to write a program, people were not able to write a program. Okay, if they ask to create some class, not able to do, object not able to do, and Spark submit not able to do. So that is the reason. So I changed pattern for this session. So please make sure that everyone have a programs in their IntelliJ. Guys, how many programs I have written in the classroom, guys? I don't see that you guys written any of the program in your IntelliJ. It's quite important, please. Okay, so write the programs in your IntelliJ. Then what will happen when interviewer asks a question, your hands will freely move that. Okay, first I need to create object, then I need to write a main, then I need to write a Spark session, then I need to, if I need a Spark context, I can create a Spark context, then text file, then transformations will. So you'll get a free hand to move. If you don't write, if you don't type, or if you don't practice that, you'll stuck. The very first statement itself will stuck. You'll not remember how to create a Spark session. What are the options I need to pass for the Spark session? Okay, creating Spark session is a different ways, guys. Okay, so creating let me take a few minutes to explain how to create a Spark session. I think I have shown it earlier in the API also. The Spark session itself will create with the different options. You can enable the Hive, you can set the configurations in Spark session itself. Okay, so if you want to know more, click on this API. Oh, sorry, I don't have control, right? Click on API docs, Scala, or you can go to your IntelliJ, man. You can go to IntelliJ. That will be simple. Go to IntelliJ. Hold Control, click on Spark session. Hold Control, click on Spark session. Download sources. Download sources. That you got the banner. Look at the banner. There is some banner came. Blue, yellow color banner. In that, download source.
Yeah.
Download source. Yeah. So check. Okay, come down. It will come down. Slowly come down. We'll see that. Go up. First, go to very beginning. Look at here, guys. Line number 50. Okay, and 51. The entry. What is the Spark session? The no. It will move up. line number 50. Okay.
After 1 it is
51.
coming to 17, yeah.
15, you can say 51 from the 51. Line number 51. The entry point to program Spark with the data set and the data frame API. Come down. In environment, that is that this has been created upfront. You are moving in that. I'm reading that commented text, Rishabh.
Oh,
Go
sorry.
up. We need to know what is a Spark session, right? Look at this. Line number 51, 53. Read out that. So what is a Spark session? It is an entry to your Spark application, a Spark program with the dataset and data frame API. In environment that this is has been created upfront. So first only will be created where in your Spark Shell, your notebooks, there are Zeppelin, there are different kind of IDs are there. Okay, if you go with the Databricks, there is something called notebooks. There is something called Zeppelin. So there are some tools are there, like Spark Shell only they are. There are also REPLs. So when you write that kind of environment, or when you are using that kind of environment, the Spark session will be created upfront. That will be by default created. Otherwise, we will create in the bottom. Look at the line number 63. Look at the line number 63. So Spark session dot builder dot master dot app name dot config. Look at the config. So people sometimes they'll ask what are the different ways to create a Spark session. I want to create a Spark session with a configuration. This is how we'll write. Dot config. You will pass your configuration name. Let's say I want to change my broadcast. Let's say I want to change my join type. Let's say I want to change the default configurations. What are the configurations I have shown you earlier? So broadcast, joins, or executors memory, drivers memory, different parameters I want to change. Default Spark configuration. Go to the browser. Go to the browser. Go to the Spark documentation. The next tab. Spark overview or something it is there. No? Click on that. Go to more, click on more. Yeah, configurations.
Yeah, more.
Little there is slight lag.
Delay, yeah.
Come down. If you come down, still you can go down. There are configurations at the bottom. Still go down. Look at here, guys. Master. Yeah, these are the configurations. Little go up. These are the configurations. You can change these things. Executors memory, all these parameters you can set in your Spark session itself. Try to remember, guys, this is more important. People may ask an interview, create a Spark session with a configuration. This is one of the way. Okay, so what you need to do while creating a Spark session, you do .config, then you will give this config name in double quotes, comma, you will give the config value in double quotes. Config name in double quotes, comma, key value pair. Yeah, tell me, please go ahead.
So if I have to like change your 2 or 3 values, so how we will
Again
write more
.config.
dot config and then the property name and the value
That is the first
in
one.
double quotes. Yeah.
Again one more .config.
Yeah.
Again one more .config. Again, how many configurations you want to change, those many .config you will write.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the next session we will be talking about Spark.driver memory overhead, Spark.executor memory overhead. We will discuss these things, and also what is executors memory, what is a driver memory. Okay, this stuff we will discuss in the next session. That's most important. Okay, come little down. Okay, these are all what is the local directory, where the log directory, all this stuff. All this stuff you can change the configuration. So you want to change the configuration while creating a Spark session itself, you can do. Go to the IntelliJ. Look at the line number 66. Okay, if you want to add one more, you'll have one more plus and again dot config. again dot config, again dot config. How many configurations you have? Those many configurations. Okay, so why I have brought you guys to here, instead of showing, I can show in some other online blogs, but I don't want to show that. Okay, I want to make you confident by showing the source code itself. So whatever the file he has opened, that's the source code. That's the source code. Source code means this is the code will work for the Spark session. Okay, come down, come down, come down. Yeah, these are all the parameters in the Spark session. It is extended serializable, it extended clonable, it extended the logging. Your Spark session is a child of serializable, clonable, logging. It's a child for all of them. What is a serializable? It's also important interview question. I don't know how many of you know, but I have explained this in one time in other sessions. Serialization is the process of converting your Spark, not Spark, your object, your Java object or Scala object into byte stream. Serialization is a process of converting your Java or Scala object into byte stream. Byte stream. That's called serialization. Again, I'm repeating. Serialization is the process of converting your object into byte stream. Why do I need to do serialization? When you want to transfer a data from one machine to another machine through a network, the Java object cannot go as an object. It has to go as a byte streams only. It has to go as a bytes only. Once it reaches to another machine, there they will do deserialization, reverse process. Serialization is converting your object to bytes. Deserialization, converting your bytes into object. Serialization and deserialization. Try to remember these two definitions. People may ask in interview. Okay, come down. You can see the source code, guys. Okay, I don't want to put you in more trouble. You can see the source code. Source code. I can read. You have a commented here. The comments are meant for reading the document purpose only. Come down. Still come down. Down. There are different. Okay, what will happen when you create a Spark state? SQL context. Look at this. How to create SQL context. Okay. Yeah, these are all you can go through later on your free time. Okay, this is how we'll create a Spark session with a configuration. This is how we'll do the Spark submit. Try to remember this. If you guys have any questions, please ask me. Any doubts so far? Any questions?
So here with Spark Submit, when we are saving it as a text file, why don't we get .crc files here?
Why don't it create a .crc file?
Yeah.
It's like we are not writing into HDFS, right, ma? This .crc files will be created in HDFS, but yeah, I understand. So when we do from Windows, it created. In Linux, it's not created. I'm not really sure, but if you're writing into Hadoop, in Hadoop also it will not create, because maybe since it is by default they may have a CRC. Hadoop by default they have a CRC. I can tell you, ma. It is created, ma. It is created. 1 second. Go to that terminal, not browser, terminal. Go to your download folder. No, terminal, correct only. Other terminal. It's a hidden file, I think. That's the reason you're not able to see. Click there. Go to your downloads. CD, home, your username, CD. You can clear the screen, okay? CD space /home /user /D, capital D, and press tab. Don't type. Yeah, you have desktop downloads and DOWN. Yeah, and what is that? Word count, right? You have given small w or capital W, I don't know the folder name. You just press tab. I don't want you to type completely. Press tab. Okay, press enter. Okay, here No, do ll, type ll. Look at there, CRC files are there because they are start with the dot, they are hidden.
Okay,
Those
you
are hidden
mentioned CRC cyclic redundancy check,
check.
right?
Correct.
So what these files will have?
See, these files make sure that your blocks are not corrupted. These files will make sure that your files, whatever the files has been created and loaded into the machine, these files will make sure that these files are not corrupted. They will keep checking it. So there will be some identification code in the CRC files. Okay, suppose if I'm an end user, I have taken this output. End user means I have another process to do. When I take this part -00 part -001 files, then when I try to process it, it will check it. This cyclic redundancy check, right? It will have one code. When I load these files into my machine and try it, it will be having one CRC file. It will create one CRC file. It will create one ID. Then compare this ID. This ID and existing CRC ID are matching or not. If it's not matching, it means that is corrupted. If it is matched, it's not corrupted. Okay, let me show in detail. Can you click on browser, Rishabh? Open, you can type in any Google. What is the CRC file? .crc file in Spark. Not only Spark, it's in a Hadoop environment it will create. What is the CRC file? Spark also you can specify. Spark. I don't know whether they mention it's a cyclic redundancy check.
They are avoiding it.
Oh, no, come down. Here you have something. What is CRC file? Come down. Click on what is CRC. We really no need to worry about that, but no, for our knowledge we'll see. Yeah, cyclical redundancy checksum. I told you, no, it's one code will be there. CRC is a file extension, cyclical redundancy checksum file used to verify the data integrity of another file. .crc file popular technique for checking the data integrity as it has excellent error detection ability something. Okay, I don't see in detail more technically because I didn't work on that much. The CRC part. CRC is a one checksum it will create to make sure that the data is not corrupted.
Okay.
Okay. Any other question? Okay, so that's it for today. Let's connect in the next session. We'll continue other parts. Thank you guys. Thanks for your time. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Ravi.
And I'm repeating, guys. Please do hands-on. Please do hands-on. That will be more important. Thank you.
Thanks.